What is going on, you guys? It's the Jimmy Fan here on Jimmy Master Animatronics, and my most sincerest apologies for not being able to upload videos lately. I've been very busy with school and trying to get some finals done before the summer starts for me, and work, obviously. But I think this video will definitely make up for the time I've been absent. This is going to be my second official Jimmy Dr. Shivers restoration, and I really hope you guys enjoy. And this is actually not mine. And this is Joseph's, and I'll be fixing it up for him. And I know he lives a long way, but we're going to figure that out once we get there, and maybe by the end of the video you'll understand where I'm getting at. But anyways, it just got here today through UPS. This box is heavy as mess, probably because not only does it have Dr. Shivers, but it has like extra packaging material, which definitely weighs up the box overall. This box is about 4.5 feet tall, so it's quite a large box overall. But from what I saw a video of him, he does absolutely nothing. Only thing that gives an indication that he works is the sound and his eyes light up, which is good because I can't stand those eyes. Well, actually, I think only one light bulb in the eye lights up overall. So I'm going to have to go through, and this is going to be a complete overall tear down and completely rebuild of Dr. Shivers. Now, I'm hoping to God that no electrical issues are taking place on this thing. Because from what I heard, Joseph paid a pretty penny for this. I think total he paid like $325. I mean, that's great. I personally never would pay that in a million years, but you know, different people, different tastes, different money. So, with that being said, let's get this box open and see what we got inside. Obviously a Dr. Shivers, but he could either be one of two things. He could either be in decent shape, because I only saw a blurry video of him, or he can be in absolutely horrible shape. So I guess we'll just have to see when we get this thing open. And from what I can tell, I'm opening it from the right end because I can see the top of his head mechanism. And I'm sure a lot of you that already knew about this transaction are anticipating to watch this video, so that's what I'm here for. Has the letter, has the number 34 on it. I don't really know what that's for. I wonder if that has anything to do with the payments. We're going to have to look at that. Smart choice putting a letter between tape, people. I don't really know what that's for. Weird. Anyways, let's get the rest of them out. Okay. Wow, he's actually in decent shape. He's not as dirty as I thought he would be. Okay, you know what? To save us some time here, let's I'm gonna get Shivers out of the box here. Save us some hassle, so I'll be right back. Okay, well, here he is out of the box. Here's his head. Head is extremely dirty. Definitely gonna have to take his mask off as best as I can and clean that all up. Mouth mechanism completely disconnected. Don't know about the eyes. They obviously don't move. Luckily, the head did not move in the video, but it's right off. The gear is completely split and it just came right off the shaft. So I'm hoping that once you just insert a new gear on there, clean out the motor and the mechanism and everything, that he should work just fine. So here he is. He's got some stains here and there, obvious wear. Now this adapter almost looks like it came with the Jason, because this is a 9-volt DC 2.5 milliamp or 2500 milliamps, and he takes a 9-volt DC 1500 milliamps. So I'm going to have to put a 1500 milliamp adapter on him, because otherwise, well, actually, as a matter of fact, that's the indication of this mechanism here, because it's completely disconnected. Because when the voltage is increased by just a few milliamps, I mean, it can damage. That's why they come with the adapters that are required with them and not ones that are switched out. But from what I can tell, this seller had a lot of different life sizes, so I'm sure over the years they had gotten mixed up. Now, I don't know if his head's ever been actually... I think his head has been opened up before in the bottom area, because I'm not too sure if those are the original screws or not. They may be, but we never know. So, I guess I'll get back to you guys when I start working on it, or when I start disassembling some stuff and when I'm actually getting somewhere with it. So, yeah, let's do a test run real quick. Okay, and then we'll go. So he does not have the beaker, and he does not have his goggles, but I'm sure Joseph will find replacement goggles in a beaker form eventually. There's the original jack, just a 2-lead wire jack. And I did notice some slight deterioration and dry rotting on the gloves here. I'm not sure if he wants to get those replaced or not. The other one seems pretty good, actually. The other one seems just fine, but I think this one's definitely going to have to be replaced somehow. If he doesn't want to, that's fine. It's all up to him. He's the one spending the money here. But I got the correct adapter put in him, so let's see how he works.
I need a volunteer for a little
okay, his eyes do work.
Experiment. Side effects may include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and a slight loss of vital organs.
Okay, well, to say the least, I think he's going to need some new LEDs in the light in the head, because one of them's severely faded out. This is stripped out, or something's going on with that. I mean, the mouth is completely disconnected. And the head's completely detached from the gears, so it's just kind of free swinging here. But overall, I think he'll work completely.
Quick! I need a victim. No, I mean, I need a guinea pig. No, I mean, a patient. Oh, just somebody lie down and close your eyes.
So all the gears are going to be replaced. Don't care if it still works or not. Like, for example...
I know. Let's play a game. I call it Fun with Electricity. Ever since the incident, I've not been quite the same, except for my shocking personality.
Play it one last time.
I say, anyone have any batteries? I'm feeling a bit drained.
So I think it's time to get to work on this thing. It's seen better days. It's had about a decade's worth of non-stop running, I would assume. So I think it's time to give this guy a little bit of some tender love and mechanical care for sure. So let's get started. Alright, so we definitely got out of this one pretty lucky. I did not hear the motor running in this thing, because usually you can hear it when the gears are splitting off the shafts. It's kind of noisy. But I didn't hear a thing, so I was like, maybe, I hope the motor isn't dead, or something more extensive was wrong with this, but luckily works just fine, but it's completely silent.
Vomiting, diarrhea, and a slight loss of vital organs.
So as you can see, it's extremely loud because I pushed the gear back on there, so it's making contact with the others. But it's more than obviously split, so we're gonna obviously fix that. I might put a little bit of extra oil in that motor just so it'll, have a little bit more of a lubrication once I reassemble and clean, because I got to clean all this. That's just disgusting. So I got a little bit more of an update here. I got his lab coat off. I got his belt and his arms off here. Here are his gloves. This one is in better shape than the other one, but as you can see, there's some slight deterioration on the wrist here, and then there's quite a bit of deterioration on this one, as you can see. So if he wants to update that, it's up to him. Oops. And I disconnected the what's it called? The beaker wires, because I mean that's really the only way I could take it off. But I mean, so obviously I'm gonna reconnect that and all that when I'm done with the mechanics. So yeah, so far so good. I think we're on the route to success here.
No, I mean a patient. Oh, just somebody lie down and close your eyes. I know. Let's play a game. I call it Fun with Electricity.
I have to say that's got to be one of the most quiet head mechanisms I've ever worked on. So that's definitely a plus for you. Alright, well we got this entire top frame piece cleaned off, and I still got to do a little bit of cleaning in that groove here, in the head groove and the jacks. But the mechanism is incredibly smooth, and I'll show you.
I say, anyone have any batteries? I'm feeling a bit drained.
It may sound a little bit louder with the camera, but the camera microphone is extremely sensitive, but in person, quiet as it could ever be. Okay, so I got the 4 screws out of here, and well, let's take a look at it, see what's going on inside. Well, I could already tell, if you can see down there that mouth mechanism, the 2 shafts, the 2 square shafts that are supposed to be connected to those levers are exposed, because I think the old one just completely cracked off altogether. I see one of them there. One of them's missing half, and then I don't know where the other one went. And then right there, right down there is the spring for it. So all that's definitely going to have to be completely reassembled. And it's obvious that there needs to be a new gear in the eyes. And I'm going to have to take the eyes out, because I think I'm just going to go ahead and replace the LEDs in the eyes, because some of them look burnt out, or one of them looks almost completely burnt out. So wish me luck with this one. Okay, so surprisingly got everything out pretty easily without having to damage anything. And you know, it's possible to get any mechanisms out of these things with the correct screwdrivers and the correct size. You know, you're gonna have to have some really tiny ones for certain spots and some really, really thin ones from certain spots. It all varies, but as you can see, I successfully got everything out here. Here's the mouth mechanism as it stands, completely disconnected, and I think it's also stripped. I hope not, because gears for this aren't exactly easy to find. But here's one of the broken pieces, completely split. Springs right here, I'll be able to reattach that. And the other one is still attached and super glued inside here, connected to that piece. So I'm definitely gonna have to figure out something with that. But yeah, pretty much everything is set for easy repair access now, so I can get this out of the way, and I'll probably clean this. I'll definitely clean it up later. Now that we got that out of the way, it's time to work on the main mechanics. So here we go.
Play a game. I call it fun with electricity.
So as you can see, I got a new gear in the back of here, got a new gear in the head, and everything. I got new LEDs in here as well, so they shine pretty bright. So he's pretty much good to go, and I also ended up fixing the mouth completely with all original parts. I still had some parts laying over, thank goodness. So he's going to be fixed up right.
Ever since visit. I need a volunteer for a little experiment. Side effects may include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and a slight loss of vital organs.
Okay, well the face is complete, the mask is completely cleaned. As you can see, it's basically spotless, no dirt stains, no grime or dust anywhere, accumulation anywhere. He's already been cleaned, and he's pretty much ready to reassemble now. I still have to wash and sew his lab coat, because as you can see, the stitching is completely undone in the back. And he'll need a new beaker, and maybe just one new glove, maybe 2, depends on, it's up to Joseph completely. But yeah, he's basically mechanically ready to reassemble, so can't wait to see what he looks like. Okay, well here's the outcome. All his mechanics are back into place, all fixed up and ready to go pretty much. So let's get this head back together, let's get the fabric clean and his gloves replaced with the beaker, and we're ready to go. Alright, just a little bit of an update here. We got all of his clothes off. As you can see, he's completely bare. And I'm not going to show the head yet, just because, you know, it's the final product. I'm not going to show it everything work until it's all reassembled. Like I said, he originally did not come with a beaker, so Joseph supplied me with money to get the parts for. I already got a beaker and the 4 green LEDs coming on the way, and I have a spare jack which I'm going to use to connect to the actual wire jack to illuminate the beaker. So those parts are on the way, which is great. And I also am going to be getting new gloves, and I'm going to try my very best to get the exact style, because like I said, there's some disintegration. There's some disintegrating going on. This one's not nearly as bad as the other one that holds the beaker. This is the one that points straight down. But I'm still, for the heck of it, I'm going to replace them because they need to be replaced, or else they'll just disintegrate over time completely. His suit, I've taken that off completely and washed it and dried it. Machine washed and dried it. And it turned out great, guys. And now I got to re-sew the back, because when I originally got it, it was completely unstitched for some odd reason. So it's going to be restitched tomorrow, and I'm going to get new gloves hopefully by Saturday. And by Saturday, the rest of the parts, like the beakers and the LEDs, should be here the same day as well. So I think everything, just by at least maybe the early to mid next week, it should be completely done. And Joseph does want some goggles for it, so I'm going to get some goggles for that. So, and he did supply me the money to get all those parts with. And he said he would send me the link to the goggles that he wants to put on this guy. So yeah, he is pretty much almost all set. Everything is mechanically sound. All new gears, motors are have been oiled up and fixed up. Very smooth. Hardly have to move it. Mouth has new joints, new gear in the eyes, new LEDs in the eyes. And the ones that are, the LEDs are in the eyes now are a little bit brighter, but that's just because they're new. But honestly, I think it looks a lot cooler than the original ones. But all new gears, all new LEDs. He's good to go. Mechanically. All of his mechanics work, and that was my main focus. I wasn't going to do anything with the cosmetics until I got the mechanics working. And honestly, word of advice to you guys, when starting on a project, and if something's completely dirty, get all the cosmetics off completely and take it down to bare, to almost nothing. And that's how you do it right, and just fix the mechanics first, wash the fabric as much as you can. If you want to do a quality restoration, you have to take it down to almost nothing and start from there. Like before, these were the pants right here were down. I had the head and torso all apart to clean the inside of the bracket pieces and the shoulder mounts, and all that's completely clean now. So yeah, you know, I tell you what, I'll play one phrase just to show you how well the head works. I'm very impressed.
I need a volunteer for a little experiment. Side effects may include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and a slight loss of vital organs.
As you can see, I mean, it couldn't be any better. The eyes are really cool. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this update. So the next one is probably when I'm going to be receiving the beaker, and I guess I'll show you guys while I'm putting the LEDs on. It really depends, because I'm going to have to pre-drill holes for the LEDs and modify it to work like the old one originally did. But the next update will probably be sometime maybe next week or this Saturday at the earliest. So, see you then. Okay, so after about 2 or 3 days, it is now Monday of the week after my last video. And after a couple days, I actually found a beaker. Actually, several. I had to order it in a pack. But I mean, it was $5.75 free shipping for the entire lot. And I actually got some LEDs thanks to John, or I think Dark Shadows Reviews, or whatever it is, wherever that guy is. Yeah, he hooked me up with a link to really cheap LEDs, and they came within 2 days. They're green too, so I got a whole bunch of them. And thanks to him, I did not have a guest Amazon account. I mean, I'm not set up with Amazon in any sort of way. So he just said send me the $4 or $5 for it, and he'd order them for me direct into my address, and he did. So this piece right here, we got the little quick disconnect right here, and this is the exact type that plugs into the original jack. So I didn't have to do any splicing or modifications to the original jack coming out of Shiver's arm to connect to the beaker. Now I believe that the original beaker has 4 LEDs soldered into it, but these are pretty bright, and there just wasn't a need for 4 LEDs, so what I did is I just stuck with 2, and hooked them to the positive and negative joints on the wiring, and they work great. I mean, couldn't be better. I just have to find a way to secure this. I'll probably put like a little screw bracket on the end of here, and put like maybe a little cap underneath around here, another plastic cap or something to hide this exposed wiring like this, because I don't want that to come off or bend out of shape over the years. And all I did then is I just drilled 2 little pieces at the bottom here, poked them through, and there you have it. There's your little beaker setup there. So, and it does work. The function on that does work. So when it makes the bubbling sounds in between phrases, beaker will light up. And it's definitely a pretty awesome alternative compared to having no beaker at all. And I'll give you a good view of Shivers here with his suit on. Suit has been machine washed, dried, and sewed. And I'll show you in the back how much. There's the suit. This is where it was all ripped down the back. It's been machine sewed professionally, so no worries there. His front part of the suit has been cleaned. His buttons are all shiny. Face, head, and mechanisms that are all fixed up. And I actually got a pair of goggles on the way. Thanks to Peter C.M. Hanna for sending me the link to those so I can get those easily. They're like legitimately the exact same ones that went on the original Shivers, and this one unfortunately didn't have it. But I wanted to do a full-out restoration on this to get all the original parts, or as close as possible to the original parts, components, and accessories to make this what he once was in 2007. Now the only 2 things I need now are the gloves. The original ones, as you can see, are still sitting here. I just gotta find some time to make it to Walmart or Lowe's or wherever, Ace Hardware, to get some similar gloves to hook on here. And yeah, here's the original jack. It does plug into the one and it works flawlessly. So yeah, within about a couple more days here, this thing will be fully functional and complete. So stay tuned for then. Check it out, guys. I finally received the goggles in the mail for Joseph. So here they are. They are the adjustable ones with the flip ups here, with the flip up finders here. I have them above his forehead here, but they actually fit very well. I just gotta adjust it correctly. But they work. They serve their purpose. These are plastic. They're cheap ones, but they're just almost like exactly like the ones that he originally had. Couldn't be any better than that. So really, really great addition. All I need now is the gloves.
I need a volunteer for a little experiment. Side effects may include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and a slight loss of vital organs.
So here we have it, guys. My second successful restoration on a 2007 6-foot Jimmy animated Halloween Dr. Shivers. I finally fixed this guy up, and it turns out Joseph took a better look at the gloves and he said, you know what, just keep the original ones. And I think he made the right choice. Aside from a little deterioration on the wrist area, they're pretty much A-okay. They're good to go. I mean, they're not ripped up terribly or anything. So yes, here's his suit, here's his lab coat and everything. It's been washed and cleaned and everything possible. Trying to adjust his coat here. His face has been cleaned. Here are his goggles. Like I said, they are adjustable. I've got him over his eyes right now because I mean there's really no purpose in doing that. He's got his beaker installed here with the 2 LEDs. I know it looks like a mess down there, but actually there's a clear seal underneath it and a jack, so it actually hooks in to the side of the cup. And you will not be disappointed in this part, Joseph, because in the dark it lights up like crazy. I mean, you'll just have to wait and see. But this works now. It's got all of his gloves and all of its materials intact. Everything's original basically, except the beaker and the goggles. And the goggles are basically completely just spot on. I mean, it couldn't really be better than this. I got these maybe for like $5 and everything. His eyes work, his mouth works, his head works. I couldn't ask for a better result. I really couldn't. So enough of me talking. You know about the restoration and the details before all this. So let me just get to playing them. Actually, let me turn the light off for this one just to show you. Sorry, I'm in the process of cleaning. I think this part's really cool. How well it lights up. We'll just do some of this in the dark so you guys can see how well his eyes light up.
I know. Let's play a game. I call it Fun with Electricity. Ever since the incident, I've not been quite the same, except for my shocking personality. I say, anyone have any batteries? I'm feeling a bit drained. Visitor, please make yourself comfortable. You're going to be here for a while.
And there you have it. Complete, fully functional 2007 Dr. Shivers. And let me turn the light on here so you guys can get a better look at the overall appearance on it. And I'm just cleaning out behind these shelves here because there's a problem behind this garage door and I'm going to have to seal it up because there was some debris getting in stuff. And at one point in time we actually had like critters getting in under there, but I'm going to have to put some 2x4s down here on the outside of the store to seal it up. But anyways, play another set of his phrases here.
I need a volunteer for a little experiment. Side effects may include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and a slight loss of vital organs. Quick! I need a victim. No, I mean a guinea pig. No, I mean a patient. Oh, just somebody lie down and close your eyes. I know. Let's play a game. I call it Fun with Electricity. Ever since the incident, I've not been quite the same, except for my shocking personality. I say, anyone have any batteries?